Welcome one and all, I'm Decoy, back with more cool and unique camp locations for you. And we're starting it off here in the forest with a spot that might not look too special at first. But trust me, there is definitely something unique and cool and special about this spot. It's definitely not these wood piles, though they are here. There's also a little bit of junk you can scrap, but right there is a frame drum. Not only is there a frame drum here at this camp, there is also a mouth harp. Two instruments that we can't build at our camp. And yeah, you can play them. And I see these, and it makes me a little bit bummed out that I can't build those at my camp. I would love to build them. So if you're someone that's more of a musician and you want to have all the different instruments at your camp, you're really going to need to camp somewhere like this if you're wanting the mouth harp and the frame drum. And it is kind of cool that you start off with like a little makeshift stage. So you build your camp somewhere around this and then take advantage of your free stage. It's a little dirty, but I think you can live with it. This location, it's not in a horrible spot. It is a little bit closer to 76 than I would like, but honestly, I can't complain. At least you're not right beside it. Now let's head to Toxic Valley, where this might not look like Toxic Valley, but believe me, it falls into Toxic Valley. So, fair warning going into this. Enemies can spawn here, and no, it's not those robots. Well, maybe they can spawn here, but those robots are just naturally here. They're part of your scenery. So you get your cooking station, you get a recipe, and I forgot to note about the last location, I didn't see enemies spawning there. So there's a plus to the instruments. Now you got a couch, a few beds, you had a couple food containers. Free food, as usual, always awesome. And you do get a couple containers to loot. Of course, you got your duffel bag right here. And then I'll show you another container here in a second. And that's what spawned here for me. There's no telling what will actually spawn here if you're camping here. There's your other container right there. Awesome. Now, beyond that, not a whole lot going on, but it does have a little bit of a military type feel to it with those sandbags. And you have an air sensor right here for whatever. Now, if you're wanting to find this location, you follow the line down from the cow's butt and you will find it. And that sounded extremely weird to say, but you're close to a train station, which is still amazing. I can't stress enough, especially now that you only have to go to one vendor. You just got to be close to any vendor and you're set. Now to a location that Tate literally could not wait for me to show. Could not wait for it. So one of my subs down in the comments decided a couple weeks ago that he wanted to try to set a new record for the most comments by a single person in a single day. And he really wanted me to show this location right here. It needed to take priority over everything else. These dump trucks, all of you, just so you know, need to know about these dump trucks and this coal. You gotta know about this coal and these dump trucks. And Tate wants full credit for this location. So, if you love this location, thank Tate. If you hate this location, thank Tate. Now on to that, talking about the actual location. So this dump truck right here, since it has all that junk in the back of it, you should be able to plant in the back of it, maybe put down a water purifier. So I'm going out on a limb and guessing that you'll be allowed to do that, judging by how something very similar at my camp works. Now these other two dump trucks, there's nothing going on in the back of them. Now I want to say this black one, blackish red one that I was standing on, I want to say that's the one that Tate said you can half glitch a chair into the driver's seat and make it look like you're driving. I can't remember. One of these three, you can make it look like you're driving, supposedly. Of course, your neighbors here are going to be Scorch Beast. I've passed through this area countless times, and I've seen Scorch Beast around this area fairly often. That was the first time I saw a Grafton monster, so that was kind of cool. But you'll find the location right here. You're only an arm's reach from the encrypted event when that happens, which is pretty cool. Now, let's head to the Savage Divide. Where, oh, look at that. It's a raider location. Oh, yeah. I've been saving this one. Not really. Honestly, I wanted to show this one in my video all about raider camp locations. And I knew I'd found it, and I loved this spot. And then I couldn't find it again. And I was like, I know I found this. Where the heck is this thing? And I found it, and then I was really sad because it is insanely close to one of my other raider locations that I showed. But it worked out because I finally got to bring it to you. Now, part of the reason that I love this spot is no enemies spawn here. Raider camp, no enemies. Amazing. And of course, you got all the dead bodies and stuff. You got this little makeshift shack that has an ammo box, and you had a little bit of stuff that you can loot here. Mostly, I'm just happy that I finally found it again. I'm not happy about that fake bed, though. Those things make me angry. But hopefully, someone's going to like this raider spot. If I wasn't currently in love with my own raider spot, I might actually move here. So, location-wise, it could be better, but hey, no enemies. Now let's head into the mire, where I've got a small, tiny little bunker for you, and some fencing. So, yeah, you get a little bit of a perimeter wall. Not much, but it's something. Now this bunker, really small, but I think it's got potential. And if you're someone building more of a military themed type of camp, I feel like this might be a solid choice for you. Now, I wish there wasn't so much debris inside, but you still have a fair amount of workable space in there, so I really can't hate on it. Then, of course, up top, it's not completely flat, but it's close enough. I'm pretty sure you can make this work if you're wanting to build a little bit on top of it. So overall, definitely a cool little spot if you're wanting to live out in the mire. And it's going to be somewhat close to the legendary vendor when he shows up. And it's coming. It's coming. We still got a little bit of a wait. But I'm really anxious for that. I don't know who else is, but I'm ready for that to happen. I'm hoping it doesn't get pushed back. Now let's head into Cranberry Bog. Well, we're going to wrap it up right here at these Robco signs. I know it might not seem too spectacular, but that Robco sign at night just kind of draws me in like a Mothman to the flame. It's really cool. Now, if you're going to build here, odds are you're going to have to put your camp back towards those bodies back there. My mind went blank and I couldn't think of what to call them. So, you do get this little checkpoint type thing, or guard gate. Nothing too spectacular. I mean, you do get some containers to loot out of it and an ammo box. But really, this was all about the Robco signs. Now, a little further down, you can actually go into some of those semi-trucks and loot the back of them. But that Robco sign, super cool. Now you'll find it right here, and of course it is right beside the steakhouse. So you gotta be careful, because your neighbors could suck. I mean, they could really suck. But that's going to wrap up all these locations. I'll be back next week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please remember to like, sub, and share. Later.